All right, this is going to be our women's boulder final grouping. We're going to get things kicked off here with this changing angles boulder. Dan, walk us through this. This looks gnarly.
Well, let's have a good see how they go about this start. The holes that they're going to are quite far away, so it's most likely that the method through this section will be dynamic. But you can see here on the zone and further past the zone, these holes are very, very slopey, very difficult to hold on to. And then once you come to this overhanging section, suddenly you have to activate the big muscles and start pulling hard.
Miho is going to show us that. First climber, first boulder, women's final, coming out with a bang. It's 4, 5, 6 attempts in very short order. We're going to get 3 attempts in the first 45 seconds here from Miho. Just kind of learn the movement, getting a little closer.
Make sure that she really makes this next attempt count.
I think that's exactly the right word for this, is the calculations getting done. Oh, that's as close as she's been.
The next attempt with this high left foot to push her back, stopping the swing. Let's have a see now. There it is.
Yes. Just very carefully making sure. Miho Nanaka now into the middle of this climb. That's a zone getting established.
1 minute left. Keep an eye out. These holds are exceptionally poor. Very difficult to hold on to. See that sloper, she's almost sliding off as she goes.
You're getting forearm friction, everything you can. Look at the tension being held. And then I would invite you
manages to save that flip.
Oh my goodness.
But the power required to hold on there, letting out a sigh as she realizes she only has 30 seconds left. Camilla, one of the athletes amongst this finals tonight, who looks like they've really turned it up in recent times. Let's see now, what can she make on her first attempt at boulder number 1?
Ooh. It almost looked there that her feet were well established, but just pushed her hand out of the blue hold. Yo!
She took a second to think about that. Now she sets up. Is she going to try correct something? There she does.
Get that extra. Even just the palm on the wall made the difference there. You see here now coming around this corner. Good look at a tiny little foot chip that requires a foot swap, almost blind, as you're hugging these big volumes.
Squeezing on this sloping volume. Now makes the save.
Saves that left hand.
Now does she have some power here? Loses the foot. Now let's see, can Camilla make one last attempt and get through?
35 seconds. Yeah, enough time to climb the boulder, but she's got to get it this time. No.
See, a very accomplished boulder and lead climber, and lead you would associate not as focused on these dynamic movements, but Jessica Pills now.
She's also done some speed climbing. She has been an all-round athlete in a couple of seasons, done the combined 2017 all the way up through 2021, so a multi-discipline athlete going left hand.
Yes, this is another method.
Enough to get there, but not so much that you can't control it when you arrive.
Very close there. She'll be happy with that move. Taking a look at the clock, thinking there is some climbing to do after, but I think I can do this movement.
Maybe a left foot stab would save the end of this movement there, getting a little closer. 30 seconds now. Jessie Pilz. Oh,
there it is.
There it is. 23 seconds. She needs to hustle, but I think the boulder is doable. You see her look at the clock there. Just got to make sure no mistakes. Into the big slopers. Look at this foot jam. Gonna have to release that. 10 seconds now. Dannon, is it enough time?
Coming very, very close. It might just be.
Is she gonna go 1, 2? Oh,
it is enough time. Jessica Pilz on the last second.
Buzzer beater top from Jessie Pilz. She is psyched. The crowd is psyched. It does not get any closer than that. After a couple of stalled attempts from Miho and Camilla, the crowd gets lulled into a bit of a sense of what's going to happen, and hoping to repeat what she managed to do then.
Great control.
There we go. I think she's even having a bit of a, yes, I got that move done. Just sort of a bit of relief maybe.
We've seen two athletes so far fail on this section. Natalia, though, known for being more powerful. Can she continue through?
Just looking a little more comfortable on the left foot, but yes!
Grabs it, and there she finds her way to the top.
Natalia Grossman getting that done in only 4 attempts. We solved our timer issue. Our second climber from the Austrian team. Is she looking to do something clever here?
Just
going over to have a look.
Static method, sides against, and then going for that method of throwing the left hand straight up. This looked like an exploratory goal because she wasn't really thinking about putting the left foot to stop. She was just seeing what it's like.
So much harder to maintain that contact on your fingertips. You want to have at least a little give in your shoulder, your elbow, to slow down before shock loading out. Climbers walk around, they never take their eyes off the boulder. Just like, it turns into a staring contest.
Oh yeah, is the enemy.
Yes! Oh, that's as close as she's been.
A breath there, needs to compose, has to be completely precise with this movement. Francisca now, let's see.
And now coming up a little bit shorter.
At this point, she'll be looking for a zone. Knows it's still worth something.
10 seconds. That is not enough. A shrug of the shoulders. Disappointment for sure. Just get those shoulder muscles working. The job they have to do. A lot to ask to have such a big dynamic movement coming out of isolation.
Big swing now from Brooke.
What is this going to be? Oh my goodness, that is going to be difficult.
Advice, particularly by World Cup route setters, is 3 attempts and then change the method.
Yeah.
And she has displayed that so far, now making her 3rd attempt with this method. Almost through, a lot of progress. She'll probably want to have another go at this method with how well that last attempt went.
Yeah, and even there, she slowed it down, dialed it in. That was a smaller jump to precision. Brooke Rabatou now up into the business, getting that toe lock.
There it is. Now we've seen athletes fall out of this section. It is definitely not a given. Brooke Rabatou, how is she going to fare on these massive holds?
Got to release that toe and control the swing. Slow and steady. Yes, Brooke Rabatou measured around the corner.
Great conservation of force there as she gets ready to create movement up to the final move, another left foot slip.
Oh my goodness, just at the critical point. You see the upward momentum just dropped away. 30 seconds. She's gonna rush. The crowd has not stopped cheering. She needs to take 1 second to compose herself to make this complicated move. There we go.
Makes it again. Now we've seen an athlete, Jessica Pills, fly through the section. Is Brooke going to do the same?
A race against the clock. 13 seconds now. She can't afford to be overly careful. 10. Dannon, does she have it in her? 6 seconds.
6 seconds.
Got to at least
hears
stick the crib.
Buzzer.
3. You got to jump. Oh, I don't think so.
On the buzzer.
I don't think so.
The crowd is up, but I don't know if that counts. An official is on his feet, shaking his finger. Now there is big upset.
So this is our leaderboard right now. Only 2 tops.
What method is she going to choose to get through this first crux of our boulder? Reaching up over. There are options here. Into the Gaston. Now, so much body tension. Reaches out for the toe hook. Manages to make it stick. Miho now through the first section. Can she continue on up to the top? Looking very positive now. Comfortably mantling through. Miho Nanaka getting that heel on. Reaching up for the top hold. Can she make it match? There it is.
My goodness, there it is. I can't believe that heel hook held on the tiny jib. got brought in very quickly. Now we'll have a look back at this boulder.
There are some foot jibs here to stand on, so you're not relying just on the friction of the volume. And then the zone, you can see a hold there. It is exceptionally poor, not easy to hold on to. And then the top as well, the angle of that.
Locked in, completely different styles of climbing, as you were mentioning. We are going to see a little bit of everything. You must be an expert in most, if not all, styles of climbing to be a successful World Cup competitor. That is what we see consistently day in and day out in competitions, is people getting more and more proficient, from gentle high-risk slabs to dynamic coordination style movements. They're just getting better and better and better at unlocking the sport.
Now, same as Miho before, changes the beta up into this Gaston. Coming out though into the compression, looking good. Let's see, can she manage through the second crux and get a top on this boulder?
There's the zone getting established. Just gotta stay with this.
High tension now.
Is she gonna go for that heel hook? Yes, she is.
Finds it. Now we notice it isn't so easy to match the top. Leaning over to the right. Is she going to get the position? Oh. Now changes the mind, puts a left heel, finds it comfortably.
There was a sigh of relief. I think she thought, how am I gonna match this? And I've said it before, Mike Tyson had an absolutely perfect quote, is that everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And sometimes the boulder punches you in the mouth, throws your plan out the window. It's what you do in that moment that can turn the tide on a boulder or on an entire round.
Now let's see Jessica choosing a different method with that high drop knee, but looking quite positive now. She's made her way through this crux on the first attempt, which will make all the difference. It seems like this boulder will be separated by attempts now. Jessica continuing further up. Other athletes have made this section on their first go. Will Jessica?
Just trying to find, you see the side pull, a good look at how well it's blocked, not giving you much of that arete to pull on, and then locking the heel in. Jessie Pilz getting just deciding what to do to match.
Keeping the foot low, very high risk as she stretches all the way out in those toes. Changes the method, now standing on such a bad part of the volume, but she does make it work and finds a top. A flash for Jessica Pilz.
Just behind, slightly more accurately. All right, Natalia Grossman sitting in fourth based on attempts only, as we saw Boulder 1 stealing lots of tries in lots of different places.
Yeah,
Natalia Grossman will be definitely dialed in, looking for a flash here.
Now let's see, finds the double Gaston. This is the section, if the athletes made it through, they were quite positive at getting a top. Now Natalia,
sinking down,
is making it through this section.
Doesn't use the compression that we saw, is going straight to the zone. She's just readjusting for the left foot, but looking quite comfortable here.
In this section where everyone's had to take a second to think, where is she going to put the feet? Realizing it's quite hard to hold once you release that foot. Makes it stick. Wow.
Running. Only 4 boulders, no room for a throwaway, no room for one you can say, that's fine, I don't need to worry about that. You know what's coming as well, so that's sitting in your mind. You've got to put all that aside. Dial in what you're looking at. You can't be thinking ahead. You can't be living in the, geez, that's powerful. We haven't seen that just yet.
Wow. Really good strength there in the shoulders to reel that swing in. But she is still on the wall on her flash attempt. This could look very good for Francisca Sterrer.
I like this look at the boulder. It sort of shows you, the holds are quite far apart. They are quite extended in that position. Here looking, just a little, looked like that foot swap needs to hold tension.
Here. And there, look at the face as she's trying. Now, this part has to figure out how to match it. Great compression with the left hand.
Still
will she find balance? She will!
Yes. Took a minute to get that left foot up and around the corner. Almost 20 minutes. But when the climbers are only taking a minute to climb the boulder, I mean, we've been through this in less than 10. So you get about half the rest, and you're asked to come back out, and maybe you've got to put your demons from the previous boulder away sooner than you meant to. Brooke Rabitou going for the double, and the first person we've seen just come up short, making that decision. She needs to control.
Is a beta that she will have thought about during the observation. Now let's see, is she going to try something different or try again to make that work? She's coming in to the Gaston. There's the drop knee. Now it'll be a more static method. Coming out towards the compression. There it is, sticks it.
Excellent adjustment on the fly, as you say, just tipping into that drop knee, going to plan B immediately. Just have to put the top together now.
Very comfortable on that mantle though. Very, very comfortable. I will not be surprised if Brooke cruises her way up to find a top now.
Just looking for that heel hook. She put it in late. Didn't need it to get through this section. Is just gonna find the balance point. And is gonna do it with a left leg dangling. I love it.
Look at that balance.
We have Natalia Grossman sitting on top based on attempts. 2 tops and 2 zones. Jessica Piltz, 2 and 2. Camilla Moroni sitting at 1 and 2, and then a 3-way tie, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 1 and 2. Francesca just behind, not getting that zone.
So here we are, setting up for the next boulder. Now we have a full-on slab, not a lot of holes in the wall. Essentially, you could break this thing down into 2 main movements. It is a running start, this first hold, incredibly bad. So you have to be really composed and balanced on your feet. And then across onto these 2 blue dishes, which you must mantle in order to reach the top.
So what we're seeing is another high complexity learned movement. Very similar, yes, Miho Nanaka. Very similar to the first boulder. She solved this one in 4 tries. Excellent work, dialing that one in.
Stepping across now, jump to an incredibly poor dish. So she might make it work, but it's not going to be because the hold's any better.
Just interesting playing with momentum, slowing down. Yes, Miho Nanaka.
Locking with that left hand now. Can she get the foot up for the mantle?
Mobility in there.
Needs to pull into the wall and continue up. Can Miho Nanaka find it? Needs to get pushing upwards.
Just the balance you see here now, getting perched on the left side, trying to get more and more comfortable. To stand up, is there enough in it?
Now needs to get a right foot established. Essentially, there are no handholds now.
Cannot grab the arete. The black tape tells you that is out of bounds. Cannot reach around the corner. Yes, the right toe. This could be it here. Can she hold the turnaround? Miho Nanaka blind going to the finish. I love it.
What
a away match.
Great job from Miho Nanaka.
And she did it just as you asked of her. Camilla
holds
it
right
the first time.
Fantastic. While that may not have looked dramatic, that may make all the difference as it comes down to attempts at this stage.
Oh my goodness, what a save! How is she holding that tension? The start hold is awful. Camilla Moroni, can she keep it together on her flash attempt? Not quite.
The climbing zone, I think you could see there, she wasn't quite focused. She's doing a great job making this first move work every time, but now she does have to go into unknown territory while trying exceptionally hard.
Just sinking down into those heels, trying to generate not too much force. Dan, if you push on footholds like that, plumb line balance as she's getting established onto the second foothold, but she's got this first move locked in.
Really good body awareness there. Camilla now, I imagine she will not be worrying too much about her time running out, as there will have to be something done about the issue that she's just dealt with.
It doesn't look like it though.
If it was something much more smaller, then she couldn't quite display it. There could be some questioning as to whether or not she gets an appeal made.
Jessica making this work in 2 tries. Love to see that. Very quickly unlocking that movement. Going slow and static. very, very useful for Jessie Pilz.
Here we are. Let's see.
Oh,
There
yes,
it
a little
is.
extra wind-up. You saw that generate a little extra spring in the hop.
Perfect precision. You saw those hands stick to the hold and they did not budge whatsoever. Now on for the mantle.
Into uncharted territory. And looking that one leg press looking very, very good. Jessie Pilz also needed to do the look away, but no problem. She didn't need a right foot on at all. Trickles in.
Crowd though got her back on her feet. Now she does establish on the start, just to figure her way through the rest of this boulder.
Getting this wind up. Oh, yes, wonderfully done.
Very, very good. She gave, look
She's
at
just
this.
hanging, she's just hanging in space. Natalia Grossman.
Such a great display of strength. This hold is very bad as she mantles up. Now let's see, can she get herself close enough to the wall to get that other hand up? It looks like it.
Thumb press to match. Natalia Grossman. Feet on that. Are you doing right, left, right?
There we
go. Very nice.
First attempt was a bit of a straight on angle. She corrected it, and now look at her eyeing up the next hold.
Yes, getting the 1-2, avoiding the tap around the arete. Very important. And now the rock over.
Can she rock over that foot? The foot comes off. New skill, but it is widely accepted in climbing that sometimes movements are just up to chance to a certain amount, and you have to hope you can do it. Now, can she do it again? She can.
Yes, she can. And just needs to correct the amount and directionality of that left foot force. She's got to be composed here. Tons of time on the clock, but definitely thinking about attempts. Having a look back. Oh my goodness. The amount of
turning the knee through, really lying back off of that crimp that's screwed onto the side.
Can she, if she can hold the crimp, but looks like she's gonna either reset or reverse. Yes, now more of a mental, a lie back on that crimp. Looked like it was gonna be super difficult. 3 or 4 times, you're thinking about the top, but you have to go back and get every move right. You can't just be thinking, what do I do at the top? What do I do at the top? So needs to make this move again. Yeah. Wow. Oh no.
Absolute power in that right arm, but it is a slopey hold, and you saw the friction just slowly degrade. Now she's got 30 seconds left. She's come so close to the top. Francisca Stair will try again and try to get up there.
I imagine she's just got to go back to original method, left foot, rock over, stand up. There's not enough time to mess around here. Come on, Francisca. 9 seconds. Gotta stand up. Can she hold it? No! Oh, what do I need to do? Francisca Stair getting agonizingly close to a top on Boulder number 3.
Sister now dominating on the competitive scene.
All right. Brooke getting established right away. I love that.
This is the boulder that comes down to attempts, so this first establishment makes a big difference. Now, can she figure out the next section on her first try?
Yes, dragging her toes across to slow down. Brooke Rabatou getting that chin up, grabbing, smearing, needs everything for it. She is an exceptionally mobile climber.
Big foot pop from Brooke.
Maybe she was thinking just too much about this. The crimp is so bad to be focused on. And then did she just put a little bit too much outward force on the left foot to create that pop? She looked as surprised as we did. Back up into it, gotta shake that off. Brooke Rabatou, important top here to stay in the mix. Yes, good work.
Brilliant movement there.
trying to choose. I mean, the sloper is bad enough that they're choosing to use a terrible crimp, and they're much quicker to get up over in balance. Brooke Rabitou moving with no hesitation. She is going to get a top here. Really good climbing, unlocking that last move with no hesitation.
Not want to get blood on any of the holds. She is last up, but it will affect the ability of other athletes out on climbing, the friction they're going to have in those holds. So it is a general rule that an athlete must have the bleeding stopped if they do want to attempt to climb.
And I love that if after the time back in isolation, open the door for her a little bit. The power of the possible comes into play. Camilla Maroney, 30 seconds now. Can you get a top? Gotta get springy.
Time is low.
Yes, Camilla!
The hold.
15 seconds, gotta rush.
Looks at the clock.
Right foot in, we haven't seen that yet. Look at this palm down mantle. 6 seconds, come on Camilla Maroney, 5. I don't think she's gonna have enough time, no! Natalia Grossman sitting fairly comfortably ahead on attempts in front of Jessica Pilz, but a top here can make all the difference. Probably out of the mix if we see zones from the other climbers. Now, the steepest part of the wall. We've already asked so much of these women, and now we're giving them power.
Very much so. And this is thinking how much climbing they've done in the last 2 days. Now we are putting them on the steepest part of the wall, making use of those big muscles in the arms, down the side of the body. But they get tired.
Place your bets. There's not much in it. I'm not even a betting man, and I definitely not going to bet on this one.
Here we are. Let's see, Miho casually through the coordination section. Power in reserve now.
You see there, she can get fourth place with the top. She
Big
is just
move from Miho. This is looking quite positive. One more crux to get to the top of this climb. Will she find herself a flash?
Now this last move needs quite a bit of pop, a lot of contact strength.
Miho Nanaka, a flash on boulder number 4.
Wonderful stuff, Miho Nanaka.
As the Japanese team happy with what they've just witnessed.
Sprint to the top. I'm sure her heart might still be racing from that attempt. So maybe that's a good thing. You need to dial up the adrenaline for this boulder.
Let's see, it is using a different skill set than the previous boulder, much more in the arms as we being shown.
With energy to spare. So we're gonna see right down to the wire attempts. Can Camilla Maroney dial up something special here? Almost again, slowing down that movement.
And the route setters clearly decided, well, let's just not give them feet. They just gotta go. Camilla displaying it perfectly, jumping up and then campusing.
Yeah, that snap.
There it is.
Wow!
Oh no!
Asking the crowd for a little bit of help. 30 seconds to go. This is going to do it. Can she get to the zone? No, Camilla Maroney. She looks gassed.
She has time for another attempt.
I love
She's
it. I
gonna
love
go
it.
for it.
Dipping back into the chalk bag for one more attempt.
But the energy is gone there. She knew, she's accepted it. An amazing performance now from Camilla Maroney.
Fourth top is going to be huge here, depending on what can be done from Natalia. My goodness, I've got the results open, and I'm having trouble working out what's required to get where.
Now Jessie, let's see how she manages this coordination move. Doesn't find the right handhold. Does go to show how impressive it is that Miho Nanaka flashed this boulder.
No!
Here we are now. Second attempt at the coordination.
Oh, they can get a podium spot by coming out. They do sometimes talk. Did you get that boulder? Did you get this boulder? Not everyone does, but there is a sense of where you think you can finish if you get this
Here
top.
it is.
Yes!
Finds the foot. Now Jessica, can she keep it together for the top? These are big, intense movements. Big jump now for Jessica.
You see her
There it
leaning
is.
back to size it up.
There it is.
Jessica Pilz can put a silver medal around her neck with the top here. Can she maintain composure at the top of this climb?
One last throw. This is not a secure movement she has to do. Here it is.
Oh!
Coming off the wall. Can't snap into that hole. Unfortunately, now she's on the ground. Here we are. Realistically, the last attempt for Jessica Pilz has to give it her all.
Yeah, oh my goodness, slowed it down there. Thought that was going to be perfect control. One more, and she's going to have to rush.
Finds
Yes.
it again. Could this be a last second top for Jessica?
My. 20 seconds, more than enough time. Just has to stay composed, has to get this last move right. Dana, are we going to see it?
Silver medal to play for Jessica Pilz.
Oh, she's
looking
fighting.
tired, finding another method. Can't quite pull it together for the top.
Inches away from a top as the clock expires. Natalia can put herself onto the top of the podium with a fourth top here. A zone in only a couple of tries.
Comfortable through the first section.
My goodness.
Natalia Grossman, arms bent, really able to lift her own body weight. Now has to do some particularly difficult moves.
Yes, not even a swing out. The body control here. Dan, and I think this is going to be a flash. She's got gold on the line. Can she keep putting this string of wins together? Natalia Grossman. Yes!
There it is.
Natalia Grossman is going to take gold in Salt Lake City. The home crowd loves it. They saw it last year, and they are treated to it again here. Natalia Grossman absolutely putting together an unbelievable final round.
Very, very much so. Now we got Francisca on the match. She'll be aiming for 5th place. Between her and Brooke, still left to make their attempts on this last boulder tonight.
Oh. Judge is just about to get up and tell her she could not grab that hold. Oh, whew.
Not bad there. Here we are. Campus time.
Yes! Great catch.
Effort from Francisca. Now, what she's going to make of the second part of this boulder. A lot of athletes struggling a lot, but it looks like it is something more Francisca's style. Here she is taking a second, chalking up one last move that's going to potentially spit her off. It has spat off other athletes. Can she make it work?
Just trying to sort the feed out. Oh, not getting enough height.
Intensity is up. We do have a gold medalist. We do have 2 athletes that really want to know whether or not they can get on top of this boulder.
Yes.
Great use of learned movement. Minute left. Now let's see, can Francisca fix what went wrong in the previous attempt? Looks like she's gonna get in there. She's gonna have another good go. Can Francisca find the top of this boulder?
Needs to generate some power here. Gets higher than last time, but not quite high enough. Got to get into the meat of that side pull to be able to stop the outward pull. And she is going to give us one more. I love it. I
30
absolutely
seconds
love
left,
it.
but it's the last climb of the day. Why not?
Does she have enough to do this move? This is the telling part. Oh my goodness, I think that is the tank being emptied. Francisca, yes, thank you. A wave to the crowd. Everything out there. They've been asked for so much from the route setters. Oh my goodness, I'm incorrect. A silver medal possible here. My results are not updating quick enough to give me accurate information. My apologies. Brooke Rabitou can fight for a silver medal here. Just got to get a top in less than 5.
Wow. Wow. Absolute amazing recovery there, refusing to come off the ball. Now Brooke, she's through the technical crux, Does she have the power to finish this climb off?
It looks like it. She is climbing with all the spring as if this was her first boulder of the night. Brooke Rabatou for silver. Yes, looking for a different beta. Right foot holds it.
Wow.
Brooke Rabatou is going to take silver right behind her teammate. This is amazing. Well-deserved gold medal. Didn't come into finals in the top spot. Didn't need to be. All right, there it is. Your last look, Natalia Grossman, 4 tops in 9 attempts. Brooke Rabatou, 4 zones, 3 tops, just ahead of Miho Nanaka. 4 zones and 3 tops in 9. Jessie Piltz with an inspired finish. Francesca Sterer and Camila Maroney rounding out your top 6. Excellent climbing from all of these finalists.